want to talk a little bit about AI in specific, with what it is able to contribute. We're at a point in time where obviously the economic resources, the financial resources being put into AI is absolutely astronomical. Nothing we've ever seen measures the same way that our investment as a universal society into AI is. But what are the outcomes? Increasingly, we're seeing things that it can do that we once thought were only the purview of human beings. Writing stories, even writing novels, making calculations. It can do an enormous amount. But I also want to suggest, and I'm going to put a link to this below that's regarding this topic, and a way to look at it is that even though we have these enormous advancements, opening up bottlenecks that used to be bottlenecks, we're increasingly looking at and saying, well, the bottleneck might not just be disappearing, it may be pushed somewhere else. So for you to think about, particularly in software, AI has been able to do an amazing amount in a very short period of time on the programming side of things. So if you're going to, let's say, a boot camp on how to program, it's unlikely that those skills that you could learn in a couple months are going to make all that much of a difference. However, on the back end of that, even though now AI can create an enormous amount of code with very little human involvement, you're pushing the bottleneck from that programming, that sitting down at the keyboard activity, to that pre-planning activity and to that evaluation activity at the end. And so that pre-planning and evaluation parts of it are still things where we need human beings to be active in. And of course, that is the skill set that you want to develop. And so we have a moving target. And of course, defining those boundaries is going to be an ongoing kind of thing, and they're going to be constantly changing. And yet it does appear that we're going to be creating new sets of bottlenecks. And so just like Wayne Gretzky always recommended, you want to skate where the puck is going and not where it is now. We need to move away from the things that AI is clearly doing well, and then be pushing into those areas where it doesn't appear to be doing quite so well, or that we need another set of skills and intelligence applied. So this is a great opportunity for many people in our society, particularly those who are educated in critical thinking and reflective thinking and careful thought, deliberate thought, persistence, etc. Because the volume of output that AI is creating is only just beginning, and it's ramping up exponentially, and yet we still need people to create the systems to evaluate and decide what is the important task, what really needs to be done, how to integrate these systems. Now, of course, that boundary is going to keep being pushing out. AI is a clever enough system that, with clever people using it, that what we can and can't do is going to be changing. But it appears now, and the article posted below should give us some ideas about where those bottlenecks are being created and not just eliminated. So as a member of a governing board, you need to be asking those questions. What is the university doing curriculum-wise? I'm not talking about instruction-wise. Instruction has a whole another set of things that we need to think about. But on the curriculum side, deciding what is to be taught is trying to define where those boundary cases are, where those edge cases are. And some things that are like low-hanging fruit, like, I don't know, prompt management, may not be that big of a deal either. But you still have an enormous amount of volume of output for someone to certify, verify, look through, make sure that concerns are not erupting, falsehoods are being created by the random machine language correlations. That has to be teased out and identified. And so in many ways, many people with those critical thinking skills are going to be enormously valuable. And the people who are just barely touching base on obtaining a useful skill, and skills like, I don't know, web page development or social media marketing or programming. These aren't insurmountable skills. And if our universities are focused on those and not that raw, flexible skill set, then we're going to be in trouble. And I've already made a video before talking about the importance of identifying whether or not your college or university is actually producing students with those skills, or are you doing something more, I don't know, vacuously vocational. It's not that vocation is not important. It is, are you doing something so small it doesn't really lead to a vocation? And that is a challenge. And so you can see entire industries of that really offered people who are, let's say, just getting started in their intellectual journey with an opportunity to make a living, talking about some sort of like a JavaScript programmer or something that you could go to a boot camp. Those are at risk. And we need to decide how, as places that are in the people development business, we can make those happen. And just to close the loop, one of the best ways to do that, to close that loop, is start developing your own ability to engage in these tools so you have firsthand experience of what you need help with learning and what can you do on your own. And the nice thing about doing that is many of these tools are still completely free, and if you can work on one, and if once your time runs out you can flip to another. You have an enormous opportunity to try things out and explore. And the main thing is just remember to do it. Remember to start there instead of saying, oh yeah, maybe I should have done this after you've been engaged in something for an hour or so, whatever. All right, more coming. Thanks.